Welcome to the Color Me Psychic Hotline. Where are you calling in from today?
Houston, Texas.
Awesome, another Texan person. Here we are. What question do you find yourself asking over and over that you want to explore today?
I think the question that I would like to focus on is why don't why do I not believe that I deserve good things?
It's a deep one. That's a good one.
Yes.
That is a good one. When you think about that question about why you believe that you don't deserve good things, and you think about it, where does the sensation, like where is the noise in your body when you think about that question?
Hmm. I kind of feel it in my extremities,
Okay,
like my forearms and my legs.
on both sides or just one side?
Both sides.
Would you say it's like a heavy feeling, like it feels unsettling, upset, or off, or like a light feeling, like a balanced, happy, kind of pleasant feeling?
Heavy.
Heavy. And how would you describe the sensation in your forearms and your legs?
Kind of like they're ready to flee or something. Like they're getting ready to uh take action and maybe run.
Awesome. So I want you to take that feeling, that sensation of that your extremities are just gonna kind of detach and take off and run, and color it out onto one piece of paper. You can take as much time as you want and use any color and shape that you want. There's no right or wrong way to color. So take your time and let me know when it feels complete.
Okay.
You ready for this?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. So just a reminder, I know that when you were coloring, you said you were a little nervous, but our body is only going to color things that we're ready to look at. So yes, it is incredibly normal to feel nervous, and just know that your body and your subconscious have your back. They're not gonna give you any like bombshells or any information that you're not ready to have. I'm going to use the color mending therapy step-by-step guide, specifically the color and shapes charts to interpret your coloring. These are available at colormending.com. What is the thing that stands out to you the most in your coloring?
The first thing I drew was like this big line spiral
Mhm.
thing. And then at the end, I felt like it needed to have like rainbow colored confetti coming out of it. So that I feel like was mm, the center point of my drawing.
Awesome. So spirals, and feel free to take notes. I'm just going to be spouting out off stuff and taking notes as well. So spirals have to do with how much you want something to change. And then the purple and the blue, let's go ahead and look at how that plays in together. So the blue has to do with dulling your feelings that you want something to change, but there's a part of it's like there's a part of you that is you're not wanting to see, and so you're trying to dull those feelings. For purple, you're feeling the purple has to deal with being constrained. Constrained in this part is like you're holding yourself back from expressing yourself freely. So we'll just keep that kind of like to the side. The nice thing about the colorings too is the more we talk about each element of your coloring, the more they'll kind of come together and tell a broader story. Rainbows specifically have to do with defensiveness, or at least in this case. Specifically, you're feeling like you need to protect yourself from painful like realizations. confetti often symbolizes like good times or fortune, like good fortune. And the rainbows are basically saying that you need to protect yourself from, it's like the painful awareness that you see of like, this is my life, and then this is like someone else's life, or the good things that are happening to them, and not and needing to feel like you need to protect yourself from having that realization, and um making those comparisons, or just seeing not necessarily, it's not like you're comparing yourself to other people, it's just like painfully aware that your life and the experiences in your life are different than other people's.
That sounds right.
Yeah, how is everything resonating so far? Any aha moments or things that are sticking out to you?
Yeah, one thing I was thinking, you said the spiral means you want something to change.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering if the confetti had something to do with like the what happens when those things change because it's like coming out of the spiral. But
Yeah, yeah.
um yeah, I don't know how that would fit in with that. Because as I was drawing it, it felt like, okay, the confetti is a result of this spiral, like it's coming out of it.
Mm, that is interesting. Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense of like you wanting things to change, wanting the good things in your life, but then realizing that when the good things happen to you, it's like, it's not that you don't want to like share it with other people. It's more like it's the energy of like not wanting other people to compare themselves to you. You have some really amazing good things in your life that are really precious to you, and that a lot of people don't have. And you don't want, it's like you're nervous about creating the same feeling in them by embracing all of the goodness, and welcoming more goodness in that you get when you see good things happen for other people.
Hmm. Okay. Like I don't want to make people uncomfortable by sharing my goodness.
Yeah,
I also feel like the if my life were to play out in the good ways, I'm hoping it could, but often don't feel like I am worthy of that it would be much different than how other people's lives are around me. And so maybe I'm like scared of being perceived in a way that people don't understand because what I view as good and exciting is different than what they do.
yeah, that's really good awareness. That's awesome. That makes a lot of sense. What was the next thing that you colored?
So I drew this kind of gradient sky type of thing. Um, my orange was sort of running out, and some of the colors I thought I had were actually invisible markers. So it wasn't quite the colors I was going for. But yeah, just kind of yellow to orange to like a pink purple, and then this bright blue is what I drew. And then I drew on top of that the this outline of the star looks like it could be black, but it's actually like this deep purple and it's red in the middle. I drew that on top of that sort of gradient sky thing.
Let's start with the sky. Skies have to do with our connection to our destiny, and to your spirituality. And spirituality is essentially just the way that you feel like nurtured and connected to your authenticity, and to um, like the source of everything that's living. specifically, let's look at the yellow and orange colors. So the yellow in this situation has to do with feeling critical. It's not critical of you, but critical of others. And orange has to do with confusion. So just uncertainty about how to interpret different information or different situations. Let's go through all the different colors that you used and then come back and try to make sense of it all.
Okay.
Let's look at the pink and the purple. So pink has to do with being withdrawn or withdrawing from others. Purple has to do with rebelliousness. And this is just rebelliousness of how other people are expecting you to act or expecting for you to play out your life. So it's not a bad thing. It feels heavy though. Like resisting convention. It's like feeling heavy, but it's not because it's not what you want. It's just there just seems to be a little bit of like an attachment still to the way that you once thought that life was supposed to play out. Like you are energetically like not attached to that anymore, and you are more like in your body and doing your own thing, but there's still something to resolve there. Then the blue has to do with like a persistent like disinterest. It's kind of like a like a fuck off energy to say.
I like that.
Yeah. I think that's more of like the coming through with like some anger, and this is where the star comes into play too. So the star itself is like stars have to do with like our destiny and our hopes and our goals and our dreams. And this was the star just represents like betrayal of someone that or like an idea that you depended on and got a lot of like meaning out of, but it just kind of spurred the whole like fuck off energy, rebellious energy, and withdrawing from others, but still trying to find your path and this new way forward that isn't tied to the conventions of what you once believed, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
Also, the destiny, it's the dark purple outline that you did on the star. It's basically just saying that like you never like there was something inside of you, even though it felt like this destiny was very like an extension of who you are, kind of like your legs and your arms are just an extension of you. That there was something there, like always deep down inside of you, that knew that you were being constrained under these conventions, and that you knew that it wasn't the life for you, but you didn't know a different way. But there was always like this kind of seed that just like kind of questions or felt like constrained or questioned because of the constraint that you were feeling.
That makes sense. Yeah, I felt like the whole sky was also kind of like a sunset. Um, hopefully that's me like resolving these things or something, like those things are coming to an end. I don't know.
Yeah, sunsets mean new beginnings.
Okay, cool.
It doesn't feel like the energy of this isn't like it's nothing like sad or depressed. It's more of like I'm resolving and waiting for like everything to kind of catch up to like where you are.
That makes sense.
It's like you've done the work, you've made the changes. you're like really like you're in your body, you're more present than ever before, and things are just like waiting to catch up. And then there's like this hesitance, so to go back to like the spiral, I think everything's making a little bit more sense now. It's kind of like this sense of, if I detached from the expectations of what I once held to be true, and I have really amazing, like even more amazing and like delicious and beautiful things happen to me in my new reality and being truer to yourself. It's like not wanting to share that for a variety of different reasons, I'm sure. But
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
so I think going back to your kind of initial question of like, why do I not believe that I deserve good things? I don't think that like there, you do believe you deserve good things and you're ready to kind of embrace and see what life has to offer. It's just trying to figure out like, when good things do happen to me, well, how do I share it and celebrate it with others? And how do I kind of connect to this newfound version of who you are and what you believe and what you're doing?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I've noticed, especially when you're saying like withdrawing from people and yeah, just a hesitancy to I am much more concerned about being perceived than I was prior to this red star thing I feel like went on in my life. Like all of a sudden I'm like scared to be perceived when before that wasn't something that worried me at all. And I think a lot of it has to do with just things being very different from how they used to be and still being perceived by people who knew me previously. So, if that makes sense.
It 100% makes sense. I think it's scary. It's scary to like grow. Yeah, it's just scary to grow. It's scary to be a different version of yourself and then have other people's um how other people remember you in a moment in time from your past.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts or questions that you have after kind of seeing and going through your coloring?
Uh, no, I think it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I want to. I just need to like take it all in. It's a lot.
Yeah, definitely let it process. I mean, I think a lot of what the coloring is showing is that like you're just in this, like you said, new beginning with the sunset and still trying to figure it out and wait for everything to kind of catch up to each other.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. And just people don't look at me.
People are always gonna people are always gonna keep looking at you. The interesting thing, I heard a quote today that might be relevant to you too. It's you'll never be judged by someone who's doing more than you.
Ah, yes, yes. I do like that quote.
Me too. Because you're showing people what's possible with like this change, and you're showing people like a different way of being and living and thinking, and it's tough. It's tough for people when they see that and they know that they could do that, but they don't want to do the work to get there. So, well, thank you so much for calling in today. Just a reminder to all the listeners out there, you can teach yourself color mending by scanning this QR code. This is the step-by-step guide with the color and the common shapes charts that I use to interpret Houston, Texas's coloring. And then you can also schedule your reading by scanning this QR code. And we'll see you next time.